Hey everybody, welcome to Steps and Stages. I'm Crystal. Thank you for joining me. I want to make two announcements before we get started today. One, if you are a part of my educational community, if you are a teacher, a principal, someone who works in community and shapes the dreams, visions, and lives of other people, then I'm going to consider you an educator. And in these times where you're going to be challenged to go into the classroom or go into these virtual spaces and continue to leverage your knowledge for the betterment of other people, you're going to need a little bit of inspiration for yourself. And so what I want to do is hold some space for educators who are in that transition to dream for themselves and let that dream of their personal and professional synthesize so they can be of the greatest impact, both inside and outside the classroom. So if you haven't signed up, go and do that, because there are only 20 slots in that session, and I really want to be of service to my fellow educators. And if you haven't registered for Brown Girls Dreaming yet, it is a 4-week coach-led course by myself, Danae Hanna, CJ Evolved, and Nicole Watlington about the mind, the body, the vision, and the bag. So we want to really help you to lay some foundational tools to live the life you love. Bring us your life in August on those 4 Saturdays, and we want you to leave with a better vision of who you are and a plan to live that out. In both of those opportunities is what I want to talk to you about today, are the ideas of steps and tools, hence steps and stages. But if you're skipping steps, then you might not be getting the same results that you're dreaming of. Sometimes in my parenting, I want to allow my child to skip steps. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want his feelings to be hurt. I don't want him to feel awkward. But if I help him skip those steps, then he's not going to learn the lessons that he needs to. If I don't go through the proper methodology with myself, my students, my clients, then I'm actually robbing them of a deeper understanding that I'm offering. So I want you to really think about this week, because the steps that are in front of you might not feel comfortable. It might not feel as though you know the next step to take. And when we don't know, that's the opportunity to educate ourselves. When we don't have all the answers, that's the opportunity to ask for help. And so in those times, we are often skipping steps. We're going around the hard part and we're trying to jump to the finish line before we know all the ingredients of the situation that we're in. So this week, I really want you to think about when you come up against a hurdle or a speed bump or something that feels like it's going to challenge you to do something different. Is that a step you're willing to go through, or are you trying to skip that step? When there's a part of your job that requires you to grow, are you trying to skip it? And if you have skipped some steps in the past, this is not about feeling bad about it. This is about going back and figuring out, what steps did I miss and can I increase my impact going forward? For many years, as a dance teacher, I've been teaching dance since I was 14 years old. I thought that teaching was about entertainment. And for many years, I was entertaining my students. They were young kids, and I thought that as long as they had a good time, that everything was going okay. But then I realized that at the end of the year, I couldn't really gauge their progress. I could engage with them. They knew that they were having a relationship with me, and they loved one another, and that's building community. So there were some things that I learned along the way that allowed me to help build succinct communities, both on and offline. But what I had to realize in myself is that there was a gap in my teaching. My lack of metrics, my lack of planning, and actually putting out measurable outcomes and expectations for them did not allow them to grow to their fullest. So those were steps that I had to go back and address, especially being a professor. So when you think about the things in your life that you do, where might you have skipped a couple steps? Are you strong enough to go back and fill in those gaps? Are you strong enough, humble enough, persistent enough to go back and learn? I believe you are. And so this week, if you catch yourself, find yourself, remember yourself skipping a step or two, let's take it back, do another rehearsal, figure out the part of the step that you're missing or skipping, and let's get to work in performing the best part of ourselves. Hey, I'll see you soon. Dream Building for Educators, Brown Girls Dreaming. I want to be a part of your development. And if neither one of those opportunities seem like they might fit you, just click that link tree above and give me a call. Let's schedule that strategy call and get you on the road to living the life you love. See you soon.